Hello, I'm Colonel Philip Blair, and I am a physician, family physician, with over 10 years of experience in the area of cannabis use. Let me share a little bit of my background. So I went to United States Military Academy in 1972, and I graduated from the Miami School of Medicine in 1978. I became a family physician. I served in the U.S. Army for 27 years, and I retired in 2009, in 1997. I became an health disease management consultant. And 10 years ago, I joined a company that was involved with cannabidiol and medicinal cannabis and started working with them. And since that time, I have explored at least 3,000 patients with the use of cannabis and treated that many patients. I've also written a book called Medicinal Cannabis and CBD and Mental Health Care that has drilled down into the major benefits of cannabis, focusing on cannabidiol in particular. But it's not meant to be confined to that. It also concerns cannabis in particular. We all know that cannabis can be highly effective for a wide range of conditions, and I've treated all of these conditions with cannabis very, very effectively, and I've not seen any complications from the use of these products. So, in my 45 years as a family physician, I have treated well over 3,000 patients. I've dealt with all kinds of diseases, behavioral illness, degenerative disorders, and cancer as well. Now, not all of my patients got better. Some of them did not do so well, but that's the course of many different problems and different issues that come up. In particular, I've treated different types of cancers very effectively in terms of breast cancer, and lung cancer very effectively for my treatments. And cannabis has been an instrumental part of all those treatments. However, I generally combine it with conventional therapy as that I am more of a functional medicine physician than a strictly alternative medicine approach. I've never seen a severe side effect or reaction from cannabis, and I've had a highly successful treatment program treating pain, inflammation, anxiety, depression, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's, PTSD, all of these things. So I'm here with you today to talk about my recommendations for policy, legal, and medical cannabis for personal use in the country of Slovenia and the surrounding European area. In fact, I was in Slovenia last year and I visited some well-known companies of major significance in your country, Herba Medica and Pharma Hemp. And I had great dialogue with both of them, and we're moving ahead with some plans for the production of some special products for the people of Europe and Slovenia. Isolated cannabis does not work well. In fact, isolated CBD has a poor functional capacity because it is not full spectrum. And the full spectrum contains small amounts of THC and other phytocannabinoids as well as terpenes. And these other substances provide a balance for the effects, and they minimize the side effects from cannabis use. So I highly recommend that you use the full spectrum. We make these full spectrum products available. So a full spectrum amplifies the benefits and minimizes the adverse effects. Currently in the US and the EU, they're experiencing high rates of anxiety, depression, PTSD, and metabolic diseases. Pharmaceutical industry targets symptoms, but does not correct for the underlying cause of the illness. Pharmaceuticals are too focused on a single target of synthetic drugs that are effective at about 30% of patients, but they have a wide range of adverse effects as well. Whereas cannabis has a wide range of benefits, but a very few side effects or toxicity. Full spectrum cannabis has the greatest treatment value due to the complementary substances contained in the natural products, including THC, terpenes, flavonoids, and polyphenols. Part of the problem is the pharmaceutical precision that is a part of the industry, where they're trying to make excessive precision on a substance, on a drug that is used, that it has to be highly consistent, but it does not take into the account of the variation of a biological product that could come from a herbal standpoint in products. So you need to relax the food standards with respect to cannabinoids and other medicinal food products within reason, to allow for crop and culture and growth variations in order to reduce costs, encourage small farms, and minimize the administrative burden to farmers, transportation, and possession issues. Now, hemp plants is highly to be encouraged because of their production of products of paper, construction materials and alternatives, wood-like products, as well as food, in that the hemp seed oil and hemp seeds themselves offer a full balance of proteins and omega-3 fatty acids that are extraordinarily healthy. Cannabis seeds need to be allowed for cultivation and hemp products as well. Now, when it comes to cannabis legislation, it's very important that you relieve the financial barriers. In the US, we've had major problems because of credit constraints on cannabis, in that cannabis businesses cannot use credit cards, or they cannot have regular bank accounts. This creates a highly vulnerable cash market that is high risk for theft and black market arrangements, and we want to avoid those black market situations. Now, with respect to cannabis use and in the public area, so I really divide this up into recreational cannabis and to medicinal cannabis. So recreational cannabis is a common use. It should be available everywhere. There should be a small amount of THC allowed, but not in high concentrations. So I think that 1% THC is a reasonable amount for most recreational use, as in the Czech Republic, and perhaps 10% for medicinal use. I think that government testing needs to be very high standard to detect mold, heavy metals, and contamination. This is imperative. And if individuals are going to grow cannabis plants, they could be allowed to grow up to 10 plants. I think that's a reasonable number as well for their own private use. Now, another area is drug testing. Drug testing has been pretty standard, and it's mixed with all kinds of results, in that THC lasts in the urine for up to 1 month, and there's no specific level that indicates being intoxicated. Therefore, breath tests are the best indications with clinical signs of an impairment while using cannabis. And the standards need to be relaxed for work and work-related drug testing as well. Now, healthcare is a major importance. The endocannabinoid education must be insisted upon for all medical providers. And we're lacking in the education and the training about this valuable 12th body system that has generally been ignored by conventional medicine. And we've got to get on board with it, because it is highly effective for all of the diseases, chronic diseases that we encounter across the world. And if we can incorporate this into medicine as a standard and put it in the text as well as the education for our future physicians, then we will become well-versed in it, and we will learn more, and we'll get better applications for the use of it. So in that regard, we've got to get education, endocannabinoid education, for all medical providers. We need to have addiction therapy, mental health care where it's suspected. I think that goes without saying. There is a potential problem with addiction from THC, and we have to address those particular issues as well. In addition, we need to have some cannabis certified prescribers should be available for medicinal high THC products. If you're going to allow medicinal cannabis, then they probably should be certified as prescribers for those products and be delineated along that line. But then again, there should be no specific designated prescription providers for recreational cannabis. I firmly believe that any physician who understands the basic system can recommend standard cannabis products for most people without difficulty. And then taxation. Taxation has been an issue in the United States where states have called for extraordinary taxes on cannabis products that have created a black market from the illegal use of cannabis and the financial constraints that come in with that. So I really thank you for this chance to talk to you and share my views on cannabis. And I hope that they can be of some value and that you will consider these in the talk and the discussions about legalization and legal ramifications, as well as the laws for cannabis in Slovenia. Thank you very much.